afternoon, my friends. Thank you again for tuning in to another session. And if this is the first time that you're connecting with us, my name is Carlos Vargas, and it's a pleasure to have you with us here today in all of our platforms. Make sure that you let us know where you're listening from. Let us know what you do for a living, because one of the things that we love to do is help other entrepreneurs, churches, and people to share their passion through technology, live streaming, and anything else that is out there for. So my friends, we just completed a build-up for a budget studio, but now we need to configure all the pieces. If you haven't seen that, make sure that you look on any of our networks, the previous video that you're gonna find how to get a budget live stream studio that you can use it for Zoom, or you can use it for live stream, for StreamYard. But now we're gonna configure everything on the environment so it will have everything that is needed. So before we go there, let's switch. Okay, let's make sure that our audio is correct. Yep. So you are seeing us right here, and one of the biggest questions that we get asked is what software to use, and there's a myriad of softwares. There's a lot of them. But after testing a lot of those softwares, there are a couple that we recommend, and there's a specific reason for it. For the longest time, I had a license of vMix and I didn't use it because I thought that it was complex, and it was that I didn't took the time to set everything up correctly. And it's extremely easy. I just was looking that the interface is not the same as the other one. So as soon as I figure out the interface, I found out how easy and powerful it is. And you're gonna say, well, what about OBS? And I also use OBS for a lot of people that ask me, but here's what I found out. With StreamYard or any other software that is not vMix, the computer get taxed and the CPU get overutilized, meaning your computer gonna run hot and then the power gonna have problems. But after I start using vMix that it uses the graphic card for a lot of the work, then it make it a lot simpler. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run you how to configure vMix for a basic setup, so you can have an example. Like, I'm gonna connect the internal camera, the external camera, and then the screen, so you can use it and you can send the signal from here to Zoom, and then you can have a higher quality production. Or you can send this to StreamYard or to any other place, because vMix have all those capabilities. Okay, so let me cut this in here. You're gonna hear me, but you're not gonna see me for a moment. So when you open vMix, here's what you're gonna see, and it's like a TV switcher that you can just pick. And on the bottom left, all that I have to do is that I go and click on the up arrow, and I click more, and the first thing that I want to bring is a camera. So I'm gonna click camera. I'm gonna pick the camera that I want. In this case, I'm gonna use the internal camera. It's gonna tell me the resolution that it's gonna use, and then I don't want any audio device because I want to control the audio myself. Okay. And as soon as I get the camera, I have camera on. You see? Right away. So I can click stream right now and I can configure everything to go live. But I'm gonna bring the external camera. I'm gonna show you why. Again, I'm gonna repeat just the process. I'm gonna go more. I'm gonna go camera. Sorry. I'm gonna pick my capture. Now in here, I have the option to select different options depend on how fast it is. If I'm streaming at 80 or at 30 or 60 frames, it normally will auto detect. And now I have a new shot that I can configure an angle however I need it. So you see, I can now, remember that I mentioned to you that I have the capability to then have a different shot. So you can see right here on the screen that I have a direct shot of me, and I have another shot that I can use. that I can change it. So right there, I have the first two shots. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the screen. So if I want to share, let's say, my presentation, that I can share everything without a problem. Okay. So I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna add an input, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick NDI on desktop card. I'm gonna pick local desktop. And I'm gonna pick my display. Okay. What that allows me to do is that I can share now my screen and anything that I look on my screen to whoever I stream out, to whatever I record, or if I'm using like a third party, then I can do that too. So how do I switch between these sources? Okay, so the first thing is that you see that on the right, there's one that have the red band. By default, the one with the red is live, the one with the blue, it's not. So if you click a source, like I'm clicking here, you're gonna come into the right. And I can, on the middle, I can pick, you see, I can switch. I just switch from one source to another one. I can merge it like a TV show, you see? Then wipe it. And it gives a little bit of a different feeling to your stream, so you are not boring like some other people. Then if I want to bring my desktop, all that I have to do is that I put it on the next, you see, I just click and it switches the source that's gonna come. Okay. And I could just switch here and it will switch, and that will be the source that it will appear outside. Okay. Now, this is great. Now, a lot of the questions that come is how do I use this somewhere else? Like I said, in Zoom, in StreamYard, in something else, and she's gonna be doing that through, we use Restream for my stream, so she's gonna be leveraging that. On the bottom, there is this button in here that says external. That means I wanna enable everything that vMix is doing to show somewhere else, to appear as a camera somewhere else. What I could do is that I can click this little cog window and it's gonna give me the options for the settings. And when this open, it's telling me that here are the settings. So I have two external monitors that I can configure from vMix, and that signal will go out and I can pick that one will be a 1 resolution and another one. By default, I leave it the way it comes to make it extremely easy. So now, all that I have to do is click the red button in here, and now my camera is available so I can use it somewhere else. Now you don't have to use just the basic things. Let's say that you're streaming and you're leveraging just Facebook Producer or you're using Restream, and even though they have great tools, you have a lot more control from here. You saw me bringing a camera out here, getting different microphones, switching, and again, probably if you're a church, you might be doing something like that. If you're starting to stream, you may not do it. But an example, if you're doing an event and you're presenting, you want to present the best way that you can. And this is a setup that allows you to do that. So after I have this, now I can connect into any other platform so I can stream with the camera that comes in. And now I can even, let me, now I can pick what camera I want to use. Give me a second here. Now, you see, you're seeing in the camera, I'm going to a website so I can use whatever they give me. So I'm gonna switch in vMix. I'm gonna go to this view. and now it switched the view. It looked a little bit different, but the idea is so you can see that you can actually, then whatever you produce on this computer or on your computer in your case, then you can share it and you can connect and have a professional look. So if they're inviting you through Zoom, like they're looking to do that, my wife and their friends are trying to do something together, so they actually talk about this. So they actually talk about the furniture, or if you're doing an event presentation, you can do that. So we went through a configuration, we went through everything. So the next step is, okay, so what do you do with your videos? One of the most important things to realize is that your videos on some of the networks, the quality get reduced. So your quality, let's say on Facebook, goes to 720 basics, meaning that it's only 4 megabytes. So your video gets really compressed, can get grainy, and you may have problems. So what do we do? Again, built-in into Vimeo or any of the recording programs, they have a record function. Right now, I'm streaming and I'm recording at the same time for that same reason. You can go into the configuration of the record option on the bottom, and you can select what you want to record. My recommendation is that you record at the highest quality that you can. So that means we go here at, if I'm recording at 1080p, that's the best thing. You want to do at least 20 megabytes. And the reason for that, even though the file gonna get a little bit bigger, then you can have enough video meat, the information in there, that if you need to shrink it or you're gonna do a better quality video or edit it, that it doesn't shrink in post-production. Then auto quality is key. So you wanna go at least 128 or higher, depend of what your microphone supports, okay? And then all that you have to do is click record, and we're recording. So my friends, we configure Vimeo so you can connect to it. So my wife now, she is at work. She sent me a message. When she come back, we will be doing some of our streams and testing it. Now with her running the whole show, I will be back up here, and then that will allow her to be able to do her interaction with anything else. But before that, when you finish, all you have to do is press the record button and you're good to go. Now you have finished everything. Okay? Then, before I forget, before you get out of Vimeo, you need to save it. This is all like a project. You can have different ones. All you have to do, click the big save button. Click save. Pick what it is, a file, and hit yes. That's all you have to do. Okay, my friends? So I'm gonna go back to here so to check if there are any other questions. Okay, give me 1 sec. Okay. I never switched the screen. That's a messed up. That's messed up. I never switched the screen. I just realized. afternoon, my friends. And this is take 2 because the other one got messed up. So thank you for tuning in wherever you are in the world. I see people tuning in again. So my name is Carlos Vargas, and it's a pleasure to have you with us today. And we're continuing a series that we're building to configure a budget live stream studio. And this is something that you can use for if you do Zoom sessions, if you leverage StreamYard or any type of content creation platform, even if you are creating your own courses, so you can have a professional look and feel. And if you haven't seen the previous video, I'm doing this because my wife is also getting into streaming. And she have done it for a long time with her phone, but now she is connecting with other women that actually are talking about furniture and how to put things in the house. So the idea will be that she will be able to share with them ideas, what to do, what not to do. So again, right now, the sky is the limit when you can connect with other people. So in the previous video, I was trying to show you how to do it, but I forgot to switch the scene. So let me switch so I can show you how we're gonna configure everything now that that is connected. So let's go there. Okay, now I see that we are connected. We are in the other scene, so you are seeing that. Okay, and you are looking at me directly, and I have everything connected. And if you want to see, make sure that you click one of the links that is appearing here for the previous video that it shows how we build all this and the components, so you can probably get it. Okay, so let's start this. So I'm showing you here the camera. I am coming and I'm going to remove the camera so I can bring it into the software that we're going to be using. But there are different softwares that you can use on your PC or your Mac. This is a PC setup specifically because you get more for what you spend on when it's related to streaming specifically. A PC for streaming is a lot less expensive and you can get more performance out of it than a Mac. You need to go with a high-end Mac for streaming so you can then get and do all these things that we're going to be talking about. So the first thing is that we're going to be using a software called vMix, and here is why. We have used OBS, XSplit, a lot of other cloud versions. And one of the things that we saw across a lot of them is that they increase the CPU utilization, meaning your computer gets slow. That's the simple answer. Your PC gets slow. So with vMix, it leverages what is called the graphic card. That's what we got a gaming computer. That's what my wife looked, and when we were looking for something, I said, get something that have a gaming card, because that will allow the software to then do all the cool things easier. So then I'm gonna close here the camera so I can bring my camera with vMix, and I will show you what to do. Okay? So here is the interface of vMix. And the first thing, when you come in, you don't see anything. If you go into the bottom left, you see that it says add input. We're gonna click in there and it's gonna give us an option. The first thing that I wanna bring is a camera. So I click camera and I'm gonna bring the internal camera first. Okay? Then I'm not going to bring the audio. You see here that says audio device none for a specific reason. I wanna control the audio in a different way. So I'm gonna hit OK, and there you go. Now I am in camera, so I have the first source of my production. One of the cool things about vMix is that I can mix sources, I can do different things, and that's why a lot of professional streamers leverage that. So I'm gonna add another source, because if you remember from the previous video, and if you haven't seen it, we have an external camera that she's gonna use for connecting. So we're gonna go again to camera. We're gonna bring our HDMI. That is, here's the name. And we're gonna click OK. Now we have a camera here, and we have a camera here. Here, 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 here. Okay. So now I can switch from the different sources with the buttons in the middle. I can go here and I can click fade and click merge, wipe, cube. See, I have different options so I can switch between the sources. And what this will allow me is that now I can control where she goes, how she connects, what she presents, so she can do that and allow this person on the other side to have a different view of everything. So an example, let's say that the person wants to, she wants to show them something. She can bring it to one camera, we can angle in a different way, and she can connect with them. All this needs also audio. Remember, we were getting one of these, you see? So we need to bring the audio source. And there's something specific that vMix allow me to do. I'm gonna add now a source, but I'm gonna add an audio source, audio input. I'm gonna look here for my microphone. So in your case, if you have a different mic, just look for the mic. But here's a tip that one of my mentors gave me. You wanna mute this on your headphones, because if not, when you speak and you have headphones, so I have everything going in a different way in here, you should be using headphones, because if not, your audio gonna come out and can give you some signal problems. So what you do is that you select mute on the headphones so you can listen, let's say, to music. I am listening to music but not listening to myself, so I can eliminate that feedback. Okay, I'm gonna go okay. Now you can see that the audio is starting to go up and down. Okay, so that's something cool. Now I can see my volume level and everything. So I'm gonna do something very quick to show you that even this least expensive mic, you can actually do some cool things with it. So vMix allow me to control the levels for the mic. So if you click on the gear icon, I can go into audio settings, and right here you see that when I talk it goes up and down. If I go into the bottom, I start from the bottom up. The channel matrix, I want to select all of them. This will give me a deeper and more rich sound, but you see, depending on what it is, it can peak. I don't want it peaking. We're gonna fix that. Then I'm gonna go into the compressor, and I'm gonna enable compressor. And depending on how you see, depending on the mic, it can be different. I'm gonna lower a couple so I can try to scream and it doesn't hit the top. Okay, there we go. Then the EQ is another way that you can then give a little bit of a deeper voice or rich and control how you want it. It gives you a better, like a radio quality. So there's different videos that show you how to do. I'm gonna just put for her initially the normal that I use for myself, and then we will adjust it as we hear her, so it will then get a better option. And again, you can switch and look for different videos that give you all this. Okay, so let me just go here. And after I adjust everything, I left the channel mixer for the last one. And here's the reason why. You see that it's peaking. Peaking means that it's red. Okay? I don't want this all the way to the top. I'm gonna lower it probably around here, 60%. Okay? Now I can get really excited. Yay! It's good! You see? And it's not the actual mix that is going out, what it says in post, is not hitting that red line, because we don't want it to hit the red line, because that will affect the person that is listening to. Okay, so then I have all this ready. Now my microphone is ready to go, and I still can control it here on the options. So now I have a microphone, I have a source, and as you can see, everything it looked to be working as expected. So now I need to know two things. If I'm gonna stream, I need to connect it to a streaming network. Okay, so to do that, we're gonna go the buttons on the bottom, buttons on the bottom. Yeah, that's like a, how do you say that in, I know in Spanish it's trabalengua, but I don't know how to say it in English. But so you have what you can do on the bottom. So for stream, we're gonna click the cog, and in here I have the options for all the networks where you can stream. You see, if you want to stream into Facebook, if you want to go into YouTube, if you want to go anything else, but I use Restream.io so I can connect and control everything. So after you connect everything, you have to select the quality. So we're gonna stream at 1080p and let Restream control it where it goes. So after I connect and I click sign up, login, I can then connect and pull all my keys, and I click save. That's ready to go. Then I have two options. I can send this to a video file, meaning I'm gonna record what I'm doing. Then I can do that by clicking again the gears icon, and here's the option MP4. It's gonna tell you where do you want to save it, the size of your files. Here is something that is very important. You want to record a high quality file on your computer and not depend on what the network can give you. All of them, when you stream, they're gonna compress it, and you want to have a full high definition version of your video. So in case that you put it on someone else, for example, if you are creating a course, you want a high definition file, not the HD that Facebook or YouTube may tell you. You want to have your high definition file, so when you process it and modify it, then it's perfectly fine. So you want to have at least that's a 20 megabyte bit rate. In here, you see, you can go, that's the middle, so 20. If you want to go high end because your cameras can capture more, you want to go higher than that, but 20 will be good. Here, hardware encoder, that means that you're going to use your graphic card. Remember, we say about that when you connect everything. And then your audio, you want it to be on 128 kilobits, meaning good audio. Simple. Hit OK. And now, if you want to record this video, all that you have to do is click the record. Now, it's red, meaning that this camera that I'm looking at right now is getting recorded. If I want to switch to the camera that is right here, you see the other one that I'm pointing out, it's not on the right, so it's not what you're seeing. Okay, so I'm going to click here, merge. Voila, I just switched to this camera. Now this camera is the one that is recorded, and it's gonna show on the video or on the stream as a camera that I'm using. And the whole reason for the external camera is to have a better quality lens that I can use it, so I can then also switch it, move it, position it, move it whatever I need, so I can look good. And in her case, she can look fabulous. Okay, so then let's say that I want to add another source. I can add an input. I'm going to add a desktop source, and I want to add the display. Now, I can share my screen so I can connect with it. Okay? And let's say that I'm doing a presentation. I can now come here and bring this screen instead of my face. Okay? Okay? Now I will have then two of them. That will be an example of how you do that. Let me just go here real quick. It's a mirror. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Now, let's say that you want to create a mix. And that's something that she's going to be doing, that she's going to be sharing something on the screen because they look for pictures and stuff like that, so she can share her screen and her face. What we're going to do is that we're going to add a blank. Add input. Okay, let me go here. Add a blank. And now I can click on the gear icon. I'm going to go camera and screen. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on multi-view, and now I can add the different options of what I wanna share. So the first that I wanna bring her camera. Second, I wanna bring the screen, okay? And don't worry, I'm gonna share what you could do. Now, I'm gonna click the button that says position right next to the desktop. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shrink, and I'm gonna position that video. Okay. I'm gonna go back to multi-view. I'm gonna click now the HD camera, and then I'm gonna remove myself, and I wanna bring her in about here. Okay. Now, what this will do is that now I can have a presentation of what I'm sharing on my screen and what I'm having at the same time, and it will go out without a problem. Okay, so there you can see that I can connect them multiple sources. That's one of the benefits of vMix, that it allows me to mix the sources so I can have them without a problem. And you can play with it, but the whole idea is that she will have a way, or in this case, you will have a way that you can do your live streams in a more professional way, and that if you're doing this from your house, you can look like you are at a studio connected with everything. Or if you're doing this for your church, that you can interact with people and have everything. There's a lot of great tutorials, so all that I wanted to do was to share what we did for her. I hope she is, what time is it? Let me see. Yeah, she's almost here. So she knew that I was gonna be doing something for her today. She didn't know all the difference. So I think that she haven't connected to the stream, so she doesn't know anything. So don't tell her, okay? Don't tell her that her live stream studio is ready, okay? So my friends, let me go here and go back. Okie dokie. So now we are back, and I hope that you have enjoyed it, what we're doing. And if you have any questions, my friends, please let us know. And as always, you can stream, you can communicate your message. Doesn't have to be difficult. You don't need to get everything at once. You just need